the Old West, a section of the River Great Ouse that ambles across the Cambridgeshire Fens, and the focus for an ambitious 5-year project called New Life on the Old West. It now runs sluggish, most of its water diverted up the straight cut straight to the wash, and its waters polluted all the way from Milton Keynes, with agricultural runoff, urban runoff and sewage outpourings. With the backdrop of one of the most nature-depleted and intensively farmed landscapes in the country, NLOW set out to create stepping stones and enhance habitats that link to wider missions like the Wicken Fen 100-Year Vision, the Great Fen Project and the Ouse Washes Landscape Partnership. Working with community groups and farmers, NLOW has created ponds, hedgerows, wildflower meadows, wader scrapes and berms across 9 parish councils. And some of the most successful habitats have been away from the river, in the heart of the arable landscape.
Hi there, I'm Edward Gilbert, farm here at Queenholm Farm. This area here, down this main drainage ditch, used to be very steep and there was no reeds at the bottom because it had eroded over time. So with the New Life of the Old West, what they've created is a berm. So there's like a slight shelf, about ½ metre shelf, and then an angle up. And they've done it down all the way along this side of the drain, and it goes right up there about 850 metres.
So Martin, would you tell the camera that you're on a berm and that it's really good?
Hi, I'm on a berm and it's really good. No, this is this berm here is a shallow shelf along the edge of the what's otherwise a very steep-sided drain, and it's just incredible in terms of the aquatic beetles and other invertebrate life that's in here. I mean, you can tell the fact that this is clear water, and although there is some algae, algae isn't dominant. The pondweeds are dominant.
And you see on the ACRE, you know, the stoneworks, the big beds of stoneworks in front of Martin.
Casserole dish.
Yeah, casserole dish report.
Casserole.
Do you think I should tell my mum we are using her old castles?
Yeah, is that the black one?
Would that be a bad thing? It's Latin, Agabus undulatus. It's the one. It's the one that's on the. I think it's on the Wicken citation, isn't it?
Oh wow!
Starting this, right? So there are various diving. That's a saucer bug. That's the bug that looks very much like a beetle. I'll track that out. So I think there's another species in there, but you can see at least 2 of these little sort of mid-sized. Yeah, so you can see this one certainly. It's got like a golden zigzag across the front of the wing cases. There.
Wow.
Can you see there? So it's actually a really beautiful thing if you see it under a magnifying glass. So that's Agabus undulatus. So if you can do something like this, where you can demonstrate, if anything, you're increasing the storage capacity. This site is really useful as it actually demonstrates the value of creating these berms. We can actually create various indices from what we found and compare it to what was here before, compare it to sites that have just got very uniform steep-sided banks, and so we can actually then quantify the value of this habitat creation. In terms of the beetles, so it's got a diving beetle called Agabus undulatus, it's got a scavenger water beetle called Hydrocus crenatus, another one called Borosus luridus, and they're all real fenland specialities, so that they are nationally uncommon species that have a stronghold in the fens, but they're here in these numbers because of this shallow water's edge that's been created. We've also got spined loach, which is a nationally scarce fish, and all sorts of interesting pondweeds as well. That is as high a accolade as you can get in the Fens.
Seeing how well these berms have performed has been a real highlight for NLOW, and the hope is that with thousands of kilometres of ditches spanning the Fens, there's a real opportunity to create amazing habitat that doesn't encroach on farmland and leaves the power to help wildlife thrive in the Fens firmly in the hands of communities and farmers. It's a win-win that you don't often see. Great thanks go to Cambridgeshire ACRE for finding the funding from the National Lottery Heritage Fund for this small but unique project.